gentlemen, welcome to, hold on, let me see. Welcome to a whole new episode of Flea Market Finds right here on ToyWorldOrder.com. I'm your host, Devall. I'm not sure why there was a pause there. Anyway, now, even though we're in the fall season, that doesn't mean in any way, shape, or form that Flea Market Finds is done. I still have a lot of stuff that's been accumulating over the summer that I haven't shown that is still waiting in piles to be put away. That's what I do. It's what this show's all about, actually. The show's not necessarily showing all of you what I found. It's more like, I gotta film this stuff so I can put it away. No, seriously. I've got some awesome stuff for you guys today, and we're gonna start with something not a lot of people remember. There was an animated series in a toy line in the early 80s called the Get Along Gang. Some people remember it, some people don't. I remember it because I'm old as dirt and was around when fire was invented, apparently. But I found a couple of great Tomy Get Along Gang dolls in box. These were really kind of neat. They were basically dress-up kids is what they were called. And they were just these little posable figures that had, they had shoes on and they had clothes and they were somewhat posable at the hips, the shoulders, and the head could turn left or right. But I found Woolma Lamb and I found Dottie Dog. These were really cool. I found them at a little booth for like $7 a piece, and while the boxes are in okay shape, and you can kind of tell they've yellowed, the guy was out in the sun a lot with them apparently, but the figures inside them are still really good, and the puppy stickers that were included are still inside, as well as the paperwork they came with, which is really cool. These are great. One of these days I'd like to find the rest of the dress-up gang. And what's funny is that during one of the last flea markets Carrie and I went to, is I found a naked one that isn't pictured anywhere on this box. And to my knowledge, there were only 6 of these to begin with, and then that was it. So I've been trying to figure out where this 7th one came from and if she was actually part of this set. But there you go, some couple of clothed box ones and a naked Get Along Gang figure. Pretty cool. Now, Living Toys, in conjunction with Art Asylum in 2000, released a line of figures based on Croft Superstars, on Sid and Marty Krofft's classic 70s, late 60s, mostly 70s, Saturday morning kids shows. Electro Woman, HR Puffin Stuff, Sigmund and the Sea Monster, Kling and Clang, but Kling and Clang wasn't there on the show. They were part of HR Puff Stuff, but I found, see where my mind's already heading forwards, I found a packaged Kling and Clang from Living Toys. And these figures in this company actually are really cool, and the fact that these were all developed by Art Asylum, which is a great sculpting company. It's an amazing toy company in its own right. These are really cool. They've got little cloth felt clothes, and they are somewhat posable, and they even come with a stop sign that Kling and Clang were well known for, since they drove the car that HR Puff and Stuff drove around in. Really cool, really neat. I'm probably not going to open these. I'm probably just going to hang them on the wall because I don't really want to. I can find the other ones. I can only find this one, but for $2, what are you going to do, right? So Kling and Clang from HR Puff and Stuff will hang proudly on my wall with the rest of my Myth and Package stuff I have. Now, Goodwill over the years has lost its stigma as the trashiest place to shop. Now, it's still kind of dirty at times, and you still see some very interesting people inside of there. Not that there's anything wrong with that at all, but I find it fun to go and dig through the kids' books and toys, because you never quite know what's going to be thrown in there. Now, that has changed over the years thanks to ShopGoodwill.com, which a lot of people working for Goodwill now are very knowledgeable in what they find in the donation bins, and that stuff that's actually worth money toy-wise, and a lot of other stuff anyway, ends up on shopgoodwill.com. But every once in a while you'll dig through and you'll find some amazing things. One of the things I found was a Transformers Universe Cheetor, which probably isn't the greatest representation of the character. It's got some issues transformed wise. It kind of is hunchback because of the way that it's all designed. But I actually don't own any Beast Wars stuff at all. I just don't own it. And even though this kind of falls on the Transformer Universe banner, it's still kind of neat. He's got the moving head that his eyes changed from green to red. That the very first toy that Cheetor was released had different eyes. One had red, one had green. Kind of cool, very neat, pretty posable. I found it in just a random bunch of other Transformers that were all missing pieces or broken, and the only thing missing from him was he was missing his two, he had two throwing star weapons he came with, and his tail that turned into a whip. So Even though those pieces are missing, he was all there and complete and fully functional. So I picked him up. Now, still on the Goodwill kick, like I said, you never know what you're going to find when you dig through, and I found this bad boy. From Bandai's Rock Lords line, which was a brother of the GoBots line, I found Magmar Stonewing, which is actually an amazing, amazing vehicle, and probably one of the coolest vehicles created for that line, period. There was another vehicle that wasn't that great. This is probably the coolest one because it had die-cast parts. It was actually transformable. It transforms from a car to this jet mode, and it's even got little battering ram. Very, very cool piece. And I kind of laughed at myself when I found it, because usually stuff like this, like I said, ends up on shopgoodwill.com. And to find this in the bin, just sitting there, was just like angels sang to me, which was kind of neat. I hear angels and I hear voices too. Don't worry, I'm good. I take medicine, it's cool. But this was really cool. I'd always wanted some vehicles from the Rock Lords line, and out of all of them, this is the one that I had tried for time and time again on eBay, and lost time and time again on eBay loose, and missed a couple of them that went for like $2-3 and nobody ever bid on them. Shipping was ridiculous, but this one cost me a whole whopping $6, which is actually, I think, a better price than I would have found at any toy show. So this bad boy is going on a nice shelf with the rest of my Rock Lords. Hee hee. Now, every time I go to flea markets and I find Hasbro WWF figures, I buy them as long as they're in good shape and they're complete. Now, a lot of them, some of them came with accessories, some of them didn't, and one of the ones that didn't come with accessories was Demolition, and these were really cool. I found these together, I think they were like 2 for $5. So, I mean, $2.50 a piece. Who could pass it up? Usually I would only buy them if they were like $1 or something, but the fact that they were all really nice, there was really no paint marks or anything on them for the most part. They both worked. You know, the punching, the clothesline action. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very cool, very neat. I love these old WWF Hasbro wrestlers. These were one of the cooler lines that they did for wrestling toys. I mean, sure, Mattel's line and the Jakks Pacific stuff is really cool and got really realistic Jakks-wise towards the middle to end of their run, and Mattel's, of course, is, well, today's technology, but these had so much play value, and all of them had special action features, which just added to that whole the whole playtime with WWF figures. So these are very cool. These are going to go on my shelf with the rest of my WWF stuff that's been slowly expanding along the front of my wrestling shelf. So, all right, and to finish this episode off this time around, I've got a great board game, one that I had been looking for a while and actually found, actually got on eBay, which I don't usually buy board games on eBay, but this one, I think it was only like a whole whopping $3.99, so why not? But I found the GoBots board game, which is very cool, very neat. Very interesting. It's got some, the playing pieces are kind of 3D. It's got a moving command center for the board. The board's really cool itself. Very neat. Something like I said, I've been looking for once I discovered it existed. The box is a little dinged up and in rough shape, but the board game itself and everything is there. So I couldn't pass it up. I had to add this to my collection, which is a very cool thing to add. So there you go, gang. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Flea Market Finds. I'll be back again with an all-new episode because I got a whole bunch more stuff stacked up behind me here. So be sure to tune in. Check out toyworldorder.com for all the latest, greatest flea market finds, as well as awesome reviews from myself, BC Direct, and more. Check out the podcasts, Dave and Devall's Toys and Collectibles, and Married to the Collection on toyworldorder.com. You can follow me on Twitter at PuppetDevall, and make sure, if you're not, go to the forums at toyworldorder.com. Sign up, it's absolutely free. Join in all the great conversations there. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of cool stuff going on. We've got some great contests coming up, so make sure you check that out. And subscribe to us on YouTube. If you haven't yet, please click subscribe. Subscribe to toyworldorder.com's channel on YouTube. And until next time, gang, keep digging. You never know what you're going to find. I'll see you guys later.